Guys, hello. This is a shortened session. We just started recording, guys. I actually missed the first part of the webinar, so for those of you watching the archive, we did go over some of the setups that we talked about earlier on SB yesterday. Here's a quick look at the Aussie dollar. For the question here was the 5-minute charts. How does that really look when you're looking to make the triggers? And this is the first example I wanted to show you. So Eileen, let me know if that helps. The other thing that we talked about last week on this setup or on this type of discussion was, what if the follow-through finds support at 60 and the trade stalls? Or, it's a really strong uptrend. There's not major resistance, but you're seeing a trigger like this. A lot of times the tell, Eileen, is on the pullback. Okay, so for example, if there was not a major resistance here, you got the trigger break and price stalled, you look for price to come back and test that same trigger as resistance. Now, a lot of times on that test, price will make divergence in the highs, or the rebound will test former support in price as well. And that sometimes is where you actually want to execute the trade, because you have another high to trade against as a stop in price, and you got that trigger break tested as resistance, which confirms the move lower. So, Eileen, I hope you're able to follow that as far as the Aussie dollar or the triggers on a much tighter time frame. So here, for example, guys, so let's look at the Aussie here. At this point, you're coming into some support. You're ahead of it, so I still think you can probably get that stretch low. You got about 9 minutes ahead of the open of U.S. trade. Momentum, if we see a 40 bounce here, okay, and price holds against it, the bottom line of it, or the underbelly of the resistance region, now support, is going to be right down here, 81.95. So you want to get as close as you can to being able to put a stop comfortably, 81.95, looking for a 20-pip target, and you look to play a possible rebound here. So if I wait for the rebound to RSI line, Sandy would have missed that trade. Well, on a trade like this, you don't need it, Eileen. My point for that comment was, if price wasn't necessarily at a key resistance, Sandy was comfortable taking this because there was so much lined up here. Aside from all the extensions and trend lines and median lines that we have, remember, Sandy likes using pivots. So when you have all these technical features here, add to that a pivot that adds even more conviction. So Eileen, on a trade like this, I wouldn't need to wait for the rebound and retest. It's coming sub 70. That's a break and a trigger in and of itself. Price action has a very clear high to trade against, and I'd be taking it. Does that make sense? Oh, okay, the other features on price action. Right. It's all the validity of that setup, guys. I don't want to give you a checklist, okay, this is how you do it, and then just follow the rules. Because every position, every scalp is taken on its own merits. And on something like this, a trigger like that was something I'd be very comfortable taking. You have a very well-defined risk. The highs are at a major threshold from a technical standpoint. That's a no-brainer setup there. Eileen says, thanks for the clarification. Right on. Price is bouncing off 50% fib on the current range. So you're looking at this, Tuttle. And I love the short-term nature of how quick you put on those retrade. That's exactly how I trade throughout the course of the day. If you're scalping, guys, you want to be dynamic. As price action develops throughout the course of the day, go ahead and take your measurements. See what relations we've made. So sure, you're absolutely right. 50% retracement of today's range off that low comes in at 82.20. You got about 6 minutes left ahead of the U.S. Open. Watch this range right here. Watch momentum hold at 40. Might offer another opportunity to get back on the long. Dollar CAD is something I just want to talk about really quick because the spill here today, a lot of people, I'm sure, got faked out on and started jumping on, lever to the hill back on the shorts. I just want to point out where this thing found support, guys. And that's that's, again, in my mind, not a coincidence. So look where price action is. And I'm not saying this is going to hold. Okay, I am expecting a pullback in dollar CAD. We are maintaining near-term short side bias below 119.94, which is the high day close. But my point that I want to make is, if you think, guys, that markets are going to make a high like this and you're going to catch a drop like into 112, that's not my style of trading. We're here, at least in this webinar, as per my discipline, we're really, really short term. So like we said the other day, highs take time. Lows take time to put in. Markets don't just V recovery all over the place. So the initial rebound here has, holds for caution. On a scalp basis, this is definitely where you want to be looking to even empty out that trade. On that premise alone of this being the opening range low for the week. Okay, so right off the bat, you're looking at that 2618 off the lows from July. You're looking at former trendline resistance, now support. You're looking at the weekly opening range low. This is the region of support you need to get through before you start to look, for a deeper type of recovery here in the dollar CAD. Something I do foresee us getting very, very active in deeper into latter part of January, early part of February. But right now, I just wanted to highlight this major key range, a little bit bigger for my liking, at least for a pair like dollar CAD. You're basically looking at 118 into 119.80 as the major range in focus. Okay, and the whole point is that we want some sort of consideration or some sort of definitive price action to make us comfortable to tack on a quick retracement and look to see where the downside targets will be. But I don't think we have that quite yet. And watch today's momentum on the close. If momentum makes a sub 70, specifically if price makes it below 118.97. I don't think it will, but if it does, that's your definitive correctionary play. You look to sell rallies in dollar CAD. Okay. So, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up there. Eileen says, cool and great. This last piece recorded too. Yeah, I do apologize. For those of you watching the archive, I do apologize. It's just late in the week, and I forgot to hit that record button. We'll be back on with the webinars Tuesday through Thursday next week at 8:30, guys. Be careful trading tomorrow's CPI. I'll try to be active on the SB Squawk there to give you exactly the read the second it hits, as well as some live analysis on what we're doing there. Again, guys, the full launch is still in process, so SB should be towards the end of this month, open of February, really up and ready to go. IDO got a little pushed back as well, so IDO Search will be joining us probably in late February. Just want to give you guys a heads up on that. But, we'll keep you updated on the scalp webinars, and we'll start that again on Tuesday. Dale says, great info, thanks. Adria says, have a great day. Eileen says, thanks for the class. See you next week. Have a great weekend, Tuttle. To all of you guys in the room, again, best of luck tomorrow. I'll keep you updated on the SB Squawk, and we will see you next week. Jay Jackson, have a great one, man. Cheers.